Yes, of course. Uh, I would like to ask your opinion. This time, I'm not telling you my opinion. I want to ask you, my followers, and anyone else in the UK, what do you think of this company? Now, I was approached on Facebook, a little advertisement, because of course they're always listening, and yes, there's a little bit of how you say, trouble onto the bridge of low water, or the Simon and Garfunkel song, bridge of troubled water, or whatever. And yes, I want to go out there, and I just want to enjoy myself. And since Facebook is listening, the algorithm is shoving me all these sites. And this company sent me this advertise, and I clicked on it. I signed up, and before it comes, you have to pay. But of course, before you pay, normally, if you have an IQ a little bit higher than room temperature, then you would need to know what you're getting. No? Because if you pay for something and you don't know what you're getting, then this is then the kind of person I don't want to meet you. You see? So whoever pays for this company and doesn't ask the question I'm asking are the people I don't want to meet. Now, to cut the long story short, they offer experiences to, go out for dinner, or grab a coffee, or just a social chit chat, and there are different levels to it. And I think the idea is genius. Of course, it's not original. I think I've been approached by at least 10 of these companies. 3 of them I signed up, but every time it's the same. Before they tell you something, you have to pay. Yeah, you go to Tesco's with £10, and the security guard tells you what to buy. You're not going to go to Tesco's. You go to shops where you can decide what you're getting. Anyway, I approached them, and I told them about my thoughts, about my feelings, and they came across quite kind of cool. I mean, not unpolite or rude, no, but a little bit too cool for my taste. And in the end of the day, everybody who's in this kind of business, they need to understand that the customer is the king. So yes, customers can be idiots. Most of them possibly are. But if someone takes the time, like myself, to express their feeling without giving you a 1-star at Trustpilot or TripAdvisor or wherever, a Google Maps or whatever, I think you really should listen and be very, very grateful, and even offer him a free ticket for the experience, because it costs $9.99 for a company. That's not a money which means anything if you really want to have an honest opinion. Now, I checked their TripAdvisor, Trustpilot, and yes, they have a 4.5, which is not bad, but certainly for someone who comes in and is a bit, I'm not sure. It's not great. The guy says it's well about industry standards. Yeah, it might be, but still, you have those negative references, and you have to also read them, because if everything is positive and everything is good, then you never can learn something from life. You only can learn from situations where you fail, or you've been ripped off, or you try to be scammed. If it's always good, you never learn something. And I like to learn, but I like to learn from others rather than from other people's mistakes, rather than from my own mistakes. So I read through all the references, the bad ones only. The good ones I'm not interested, because they're good anyway. Having said that, even with the good ones, it just leaves a little bit of a bad taste in the mouth, because in one example, one guy said, 5-star review, that he didn't like what happened because nobody turned up, but since they treated him greatly in the customer experience, and by the refund, and they paid his membership back, he's happy. Yeah, but I can't give a 5-star for that. If I don't enjoy the event, I can't give a 5-star just because the customer service was great. No, it can't be. So look, you can pay someone £10 or £5, and they can give you reviews, not AI written, beyond belief. Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, those guys can give you reviews all day long and nobody would ever know. So Trustpilot and all this TripAdvisor, yes, you can get ideas, but it's a lot of fake stuff. But the people who give negative references and they are willing to write a long story, for them I kind of feel. And I read through and I realized that complaints that a girl had to travel miles, she was living in the countryside, came to the city, and then a couple of people turned up. She was in her late 20s or mid 20s, and then the two other people were in their 60s. Now, guys, this is not acceptable. This is worthless. This is, you can't ask $9.99 from somebody or $13.99 or whatever you charge or whatever you will be charging for this kind of service. And there's no refund policy. Well, then this is nothing. I'm not saying it is, but it sounds like a scam. Now, you don't tell me where I'm going. You're not going to tell me how many people. You cannot guarantee how many people will be turning up. You cannot guarantee how much the venue costs, how much my outgoings will be, but there is no refund policy. So what can you actually guarantee? How can I build up trust with you where I can say, hang on, okay, I paid a tenner, but I know that 5 people will turn up. I know that a beer is not going to cost me £15, but it's going to be £7 or £6. It's going to be a pub or whatever that might be, or the dinner. The dinner place or going to other place. It doesn't really matter, but I need to know. I need to know that in advance before I'm paying. Now, this customer person, or maybe several I chatted to, they say they're robots. First of all, the first put off was that after I approached them, I got a generated message, like AI stuff. I'm like, oh. Now then somebody really got back to me because I could see spelling mistakes and stuff, which is fine. I have plenty of spelling mistakes myself, but I want to talk to real people. But you guys actually cannot guarantee anything, and you have a no refund policy. Now, in your experience, I am not saying because I wasn't there, maybe people turn up, but according to the websites, to the Trustpilots, on many occasions, there was only 2, 3 people turning up, in some cases none, and the ages weren't matched either. Now imagine, I'm 49 years old. I have no beef if I'm surrounded with 5 or 4 20 years old girls. I have absolutely no beef. They certainly will be entertained. I will entertain, there's no question. But they're not really going out to meet me. No, they're going out to meet a 25 years old or a 30 years old with the same wit and fun than me. Absolutely. Yes, okay, maybe the odd one would swap a number. But when I approach her a day later to go out for another thing, I said, now listen, I'd rather go out with my dad. Or, in particular, in some cases, even with the granddad, if she has children herself, which a 20 years old easily can have. Anyway, so this is the problem when I'm getting it. Now, all those websites, every single one of them work with the same principle. There is no guarantee. You must pay before you know anything. And if we don't have anything in South London, we just dump you to Central London. Now, this is how it works, because people have lives. They have to plan the day. They have budgets. Yeah. So please, to you people who listen to this, tell me your own experience. Is this a hit and miss? Is this just a scam? Is this just a startup who not trying hard? What is this company all about? Because this is certainly not something which I would subscribe to. Now, for all this customer experience, which I told them I spent a half an hour on it, I have received nothing back except thank you. We will forward the message to the programmers or to the decision makers. Now, guys, if you find a guy like me who is actually willing to go deep in it and give a very honest experience, this is like a unicorn. Yeah, okay, I don't have the horn, but this is like a unicorn. You must keep this man happy, and you have to give him a free shot. And this is not about the 13 quid or the 29 quid or the 99 pounds. Or all companies charge different thing. No, it's about that. Hang on, let this guy go out there. He will be honest. He will give us an amazing feedback. It doesn't matter we lose 10 pounds, but this guy will give us a feedback. He can talk to anybody. He's very social. He's witty. He's educated. He's intelligent. This is the kind of guy we need in these groups to lift the group up. Instead of telling him stories that, oh, maybe this is not the right venue for me, or maybe this is this, or maybe that. Listen, I decide for my money which is the right venue, and not you, my friend. But as I said, I've been very civilized with you, even though I don't think you deserve all my expertise I gave you. But now let's put this video out and let's ask the people, are you guys a hit and miss company? Is this just a scam? Is this a money-making machine or laundry or whatever that might be? But certainly this is for people who don't care. They're just so desperate that they have to and will pay the money to meet somebody without knowing whom they meet, without knowing where they meet, without knowing what the budget is. Yeah, and this is the problem in the world. If you don't communicate, you can't negotiate, and 99% of the times you will be getting the to me. Doggy for tuning into my channel. Like, share, comment, and please comment. If you have an experience with these guys, some sort of experience, you win there. Please, in the comments, in the comment, just let me know that the whole world know that this is legit. If you have a good experience, I'm happy. If I get another good, it's even better. If you have a bad experience, it's also fair to know. But right now, I cannot subscribe to this company because for me right now, this is a hit and miss, going towards a bit scammy. I have no evidence to prove. I have put my hands up. This is my own personal, humble opinion, but I've been around the bend a few times in my life, and most of the mistakes I made weren't huge, or none of the mistakes I made were huge, so I was smart enough to avoid them. I prefer to learn from other people's mistakes. However, if you really want my cash, to go and meet these people, then you got to tell me what I'm getting, where I'm getting it, how much it's gonna cost, and so on and so forward. Arawa.